What's up, guys? Back to another Konosuba video. So anniversary is coming up, so of course gotta make a how good are the anniversary characters. Now I've talked about them a ton before, so just a refresher those of you who haven't. YouTube is funky and will probably push this video out more than the other times I've talked about them, and it's always good to have a quick refresher to those who just don't have the information handy or forgot, or just like listening to it instead of reading. I know there's people who listen better than they read, but anyway, like always, this is Anni's tier list. Information is all nice and neat. Also, the numbers next to the characters, I believe SSS is the highest tier, so the fact that some of these characters are still in S kind of proves how good they are, because this is going off of the JP version, which is pretty far ahead. I think it's a year and a couple months, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with that. It's been a minute since I've actually checked, but I know that they had their 2nd year anniversary already. So there's that. But anyway, let's jump in. So out of Cosmo, it does 126 elementalist physical damage, 199 single target wind physical damage, and a tier 2 resist shred buff for 16 seconds. Sorry, debuff. 171 single target 1 physical damage, 230 if the target has a debuff. This looks very well. You would do the resist shred, then you would use his 2nd skill because the target has a debuff, you do more damage. Pair that with the fact that he has snipe to lower speed and you charge it faster, along with having Jinshinmaru or Tsuchimaru Kai to get his ultimate faster. You're going to be doing some pretty solid damage. This is our first tier 2 resist shred debuff unit. Erica was our first tier 1, and she's not crazy good. I have a showcase on my channel, and I honestly wasn't really noticing too much of a difference in damage, unfortunately. But from what I've heard, tier 2 is the real deal. It's pretty much, if you have tier 2 resist shred, you're up there on the tier list on JP. This Cosmo will be used for a long time until other elements get their resist shred characters, but until then, Cosmo is going to be run on like every single team and man, so that's why he is so valuable, and why you should be summoning on the banner, and people have been saving up. Next up is the 2nd idol character, which is Idol Megumi. This Idol Megumi unfortunately doesn't really live up to the rest of the banner. She does 126 elementalist physical damage, 146 single target light magic damage, and a self tier 3 magic attack buff for 16 seconds. Then a 162 single target light magic damage, 218 if above 7% HP. So unfortunately, she has to compete with ReZero Megumi. All of ReZero Megumi's skills are AoE, while this one only has single targets. And while she's going to be doing more damage if it's just one enemy, the whole point of Megumi is, kill the waves, get ult, use ult, get out kind of thing, especially in arena. So this does kind of hurt her. If you don't have ReZero Megumi, I guess you could use her for light, but not having AoEs kind of sucks. The self tier 3 magic attack buff is rather nice, and you can probably do some pretty good damage if you're above 7% HP, but generally the ReZero one will be better for the AoEs. Next up is our first legendary character, and that is legendary Aqua. Notice Aqua is still at S, so she's aged a bit better than Cosmo, but that's just because Cosmo is used for res shred, and more res shred units, meaning he has more competition. I still say that both of them are pretty much about the same. You're probably going to need Kazuma more to get higher in arena, but Aqua is still insanely good, so you want to go for both. That's why I recommend getting 150k quartz, so you can have 2 pities to get both of them. Anyway, let's get into it. So she has a 105 water physical attack and a small party heal. Most of the legendaries, I think all the legendaries from what I've seen, have an additional skill on their basic attack. That is an attack that you can use infinite amount of times. It doesn't have a cooldown. Her next skill is 149 single target water physical attack and a party 6-second cooldown reduction. For those of you who have used Chris, you know why this is so OP. I don't have Chris, and I was playing with one of my friends, and he got such a way higher score than me just because he had Chris using her cooldown reduction, and I don't have Chris, which is insane because his account is a lot newer than mine. So that really goes to show how valuable having a 6-second cooldown reduction is. Aqua also has a 170 single target water physical damage and a 228 if above 70% HP, and a party 10% ultimate gauge charge. So she has a small party heal, right? So she's in your party. Her ultimate is more than likely always going to be the Sacred Create Water, which heals you. So more than likely she's going to be above 70% HP, so you're going to get some good damage with this. Plus, it gives you 10% ultimate gauge charge. She has a EX skill that boosts attack and your gauge up. I don't know by what percentage exactly. I unfortunately didn't look into it before recording this video because I totally forgot that she had a gauge up as well. So I do apologize for that. I'm assuming it's gonna be the same as someone like Mitsurugi or Leah, but no, take that with a grain of salt. I could be wrong. So she's gonna be getting her ult faster, and her skill is gonna help that. Plus, you can use the second skill more often if you use the cooldown reduction after it. So that is pretty nice. Overall, a very, very good character. I'm sure she's going to be on a ton of teams just because of the gauge charge, the heal, the cooldown reduction. Kind of like how Wiz is on every team's for her gauge boost, and then her slow with her ultimate. Next up is Legendary Darkness. She is A on JP according to this tier list. She has a 93% light physical damage and a self tier 2 physical defense buff for 6 seconds, a self 30% ultimate gauge charge, which is crazy because with Veneer Mask you get ult faster, so she just like boom ult instantly, you know. Especially if you have other of the buffers such as like, you know, Made Rin. Trying to think of the other light ones off the top of my head. Is that all of it? Sure, there's another one I just can't remember. But also a party tier 2 physical defense debuff for 12, buff for 12 seconds. Which is nice because you get the basic off for just darkness, and then you can use this skill if your other members are getting hit with AoEs. And then darkness has a 151 single target light physical damage, 211 if below 50% HP, which she's a tank, she's probably gonna have low HP, and a party tier 2 agility buff for 12 seconds. Erica is so good because she has a party tier 2 agility buff, so this on darkness is gonna be pretty good. The only thing darkness suffers on, also really quickly, she has an attack and action used, pretty much used an action, you get healed a little bit. This would be pretty good on Eyes, funny enough, because how fast Eyes attacks. So if you have Damachi darkness and this darkness, Eyes is eating, so that'll be cool to test that out. But the only thing with this darkness is she can't hit anything unless you Veneer Mask first, but she's still overall pretty solid. The tier 2 agility buff and just all defense buffs in general are going to be pretty helpful for the dungeon, I'm sure of it. Running her and Aqua, you know, unless the dungeon hits stupidly hard, I don't see how you're going to have too much of an issue, but we'll get to that when we get to that in the dungeon. Overall, Cosmo and Aqua are the two units you're going to go after the most. Darkness is also like just shortly shy of the other two, and then, you know, this Megumi, as you can see, is not the greatest, but overall those are what the characters do. They are pretty strong. You know, that's why a lot of people are recommending summoning on this banner. I'll have a should you summon video tomorrow before the banners go live. Banners should be live. I thought it was the 23rd, but apparently it's looking more like the 22nd. Apparently I can't count, so I do apologize. But I guess it'll be later today because it's now past midnight my time. But anyway, I'll have a should you summon a day before the banner goes out, and then a summoning video, and we'll go from there. So don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss the, you know, should you summon and the summoning video, and don't forget to like the video because it helps me out a bunch. And I will catch y'all in the next Konosuba video. Thanks for watching.